I like it, Jason, that you're getting some fresh air.
You know, when it looks this good outside, you know, because it's beautiful, why not?
I agree.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Chris.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 1:30, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting of the Board of Public Utilities for the City of Santa Rosa to order. If we may have a roll call, please.
Yes. Chair Galvin.
Here.
Vice Chair Anoni.
Here.
Board Member Badenfort.
Here.
Board Member Grable.
Here.
Board Member Mullen.
Here.
Board Member Watts.
Here.
Board Member Wright.
Well, good afternoon again, everyone. Reminder to please mute your phones or your microphones when you're not speaking. Also, please put away your personal cell phones and personal computers. Any statements of abstention by board members? Okay, hearing none. We have no.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, again, I'll be recusing myself on any minutes adopted prior to my appointment on May 7th.
Thank you. We're actually going to defer the minutes from April 16th to our next board meeting. So we have no study sessions. The minutes are deferred, and we do have one staff briefing. Director Burke.
Thank you, Chair Galvin. Our first and only staff briefing will be a presentation on our 2019 Drinking Water Quality Report, and Deputy Director Peter Martin will be making the presentation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Chair Galvin and members of the board. My name is Peter Martin. I'm Deputy Director of Water Resources. Tony Yamas was supposed to give his presentation today, but unfortunately had to deal with a family emergency. So today I'll be providing a presentation of the 2019 Water Quality Consumer Confidence Report, which has recently been made available to the public on our website and other outlets. Additionally, targeted outreach to customers and the community is starting to roll out this week. Normally, we would provide you with a paper copy for this presentation, but an electronic version of the report was made available as an attachment to today's agenda for your reference. First off, I'd like to say that although I'm presenting this report today, this was a substantial effort by Tony in coordination with Nicole Dorotensky and the marketing outreach team, Casey Arntz, our utility technician, and Armand Esquera, water quality senior. This team assisted in kind of gathering the information and putting the report together and making sure it was distributed properly and on time to meet our regulatory requirements and also inform our customers and community of the commitment to safe drinking water by the utility. Slide 2, please. So we are required to monitor our system monthly, and at the end of the year, we are required by the Division of Drinking Water to provide a detailed report to customers. We test the system weekly as required by the total coliform rule and quarterly to comply with the disinfectants and disinfection byproducts rule. We also test for lead and copper, which is required every 3 years. It happens to be this year. It was completed in 2019, so those results were included in this report. Also, because of our production wells on Farmers Lane, we must also comply with the groundwater rule, which has a different set of compliance responsibilities beyond our surface water supplies that are received from Sonoma Water. I just wanted to note too that our cross-connection control program ensures the safety of our water supply as well, and the water quality team is responsible for carrying out the duties of that program for the utility. So the water quality report provides information obviously required by law, but we also use it as an outreach tool to educate our customers about where our water comes from, our water system. It also kind of includes information on how to interpret the report. And then we just also educate about the numerous tests we conduct to ensure our water quality meets and exceeds all regulatory requirements. In addition, this report included information regarding ongoing sampling efforts associated with the water quality contamination that was caused by the Tubbs fire in 2017. Slide 4, please. So recent legislation allowed us to use other outlets to advertise and share the water quality report, where we previously were required to deliver hard copies to every customer. This year, we will run multiple print and electronic ads in the Press Democrat throughout the month of June. We've started delivering bill inserts to customers. We'll be sending out emails, and it was recently incorporated in the City Connections newsletter. Just notably, though, we continue to provide hard copies to any customers that request them. And we also supply copies at various public places throughout the city. So if you can see that van in the picture, that's our water sampling van, and as an advertisement for the water quality report, as well as hard copies on hand for any customer who may ask for one. Slide 5, please. In a typical year, we receive 95% of our water from Sonoma Water and 5% from our Farmers Lane production wells. In 2019, the wells did not run continuously throughout the season due to necessary rehabilitation activities for some of the well structures. Slide 6, please. So this is a picture of our water system here in Santa Rosa. It's very complex, and because of the extremes and the hydraulic gradients due to the topography in Santa Rosa, it's broken up into several different pressure zones. So we definitely make sure at a minimum we have one sampling station in each of those pressure zones. We have a total of 144 sample stations throughout the city to ensure we are getting an accurate representation of our drinking water system, the drinking water in our system. Slide 7, please. And this is a picture of Sonoma Water's infrastructure. It's also very complex with over 90 miles of pipeline. In the upper left-hand corner is where Sonoma Water's 6 caissons or rainy well collectors are located by Mirabel and Wohler. And on the lower left corner is the Cotati intertie. They do have standby wells that are located at that site that also can supplement the system if needed. Slide 8, please. So here's a couple pictures of our sampling stations. They're used to test for our total coliform rule as well as our quarterly and annual sampling. We currently have 2 different styles of sample stations, the standard one on the left, and then also a pedestal style on the right. We've been working to upgrade many of the sampling stations to the pedestal style wherever possible to eliminate the sample from possible contamination. Slide 9, please. So since the advisory was lifted in 2018, we've taken over 500 post-fire samples inside that impacted area in Fountain Grove. Sampling data continues to confirm that our community's water is free from contamination and meets all standards for safe drinking water. So there's a special report that's included in this annual report that talks a lot about that. Slide 10, please. So this is our Farmers Lane treatment plant. The picture shows our green sand filtration system that we use to filter for iron and manganese. We also disinfect and then blend the water into the system. When in operation, we test for iron and manganese weekly and also perform monthly and annual tests as well. So this is our local supply here. Slide 11, please. So because we receive almost all of our water from Sonoma Water, they do test for over 100 constituents annually and provide us with the data. This is kind of an example of just one of many of the sheets that they provide. It includes the constituent itself, the MCL or maximum contaminant level, as well as the DLR, which is the detectable limit for reporting purposes. They provide this data from their rainy well collectors and as well as all their production wells. Obviously, a lot of that's winnowed down, and we can talk about how that's presented in the report in the next slide. Slide 12, please. This is the 2019 Water Quality Report sampling results page, which is on page 5 of that report. we're required to include anything over the reporting limit in that report. So the top half of the report kind of contains the primary standards, which are those which have sort of direct health concerns. And then the bottom half is the secondary standards, which are for aesthetics, like, clarity, taste, and odor, mineral content. So at the top right, within the red boxes, the columns are separated between Sonoma Water's results and the water provided through our own production wells. Again, the state recommends we include the results from our production wells on this report. This page also includes our 2019 lead and copper rule testing results, which are in that green box. As I mentioned, that's only done every 3 years. Slide 13, please. So this concludes my presentation, and with that, I can hopefully answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Deputy Director Martin. As always, we expected that we would have a very positive report to supply to both the public and to the board. So with that, I will open it up for any board member questions or comments. Vice Chair Arnone.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Badenfort.
No questions. Thank you for your report.
Board Member Grable.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for your report, and then, maybe now's a good time to just recognize the current context we're in, and it doesn't seem related, but I would like to say, some words regarding the protest and say, that Black lives do matter in our community and all others. And the reason I bring that up regarding clean water is because it's no accident that the Clean Water Restoration Act came into being right after the Civil Rights Act. And a lot of the fights in this country to maintain clean, safe drinking water standards came because of environmental justice movements and inequalities that some do persist to this day in the Cancer Belt and in Flint, Michigan, and other places. But I think we can really be grateful to civil rights struggles for some of the precedents that create the regulatory framework that we rely on now to make sure that our water is safe for our citizens in Santa Rosa. So I just want to express gratitude to those who have come before us and fought for clean water, because we are the benefactors now, and I think Santa Rosa is a really upstanding example of how we've moved forward and done better and better over the years to make sure that clean water is available to all of our residents, without discrepancies based on race or geography. So thank you for the presentation. I just wanted to put that in historical perspective and recognize the justice behind it. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Mullen.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I want to compliment the staff for the presentation and the preparation of this year's report, and at the same time compliment them long range for the years how this report has evolved into taking highly technical information like parts per million and MCLs and things, and making it easy for the average person to pick up and read and understand and walk away with a feeling that they're in good hands as far as the water supply. My only question is related to the law requires us to do this for the drinking water side. Do we internally do a similar comparison with the water quality that we do for the recycled water, and do any sort of comparisons between the drinking water and our recycled water, which we are using for some urban applications?
I can, this is Jennifer, I can go ahead and try and address that for you, Board Member Mullen. So we are required for our recycled water to report monthly to the state water, or to the Regional Water Quality Control Board through a state reporting system called the CWIC system. So we do report all of our data in relation to our recycled water every month. And then we have put together some water quality data in relation to the type of constituents that would be most important for the landscape. So in our area, we only use recycled water for urban irrigation and agricultural irrigation. And so we do really focus on what would be most important for irrigation purposes, and provide information on the nutrient quality, and put that and update that every year on our website, and send it out via our email distribution list to our customers so that they are aware of what the nutrient quality and content is, in particular focusing mostly on nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium so that they can adjust fertilizer applications as appropriate. So we have kind of in the past provided some basic information comparing our recycled water quality to drinking water standards, just as an FYI as we're doing some outreach, but really we're a lot more targeted on the use and then the type of constituents that are useful for those customers.
Thank you for that. Again, the amount of money and energy that goes into the recycled water system in producing what is a high quality product, basically it is treated to drinking water standards. Is any chance we get to put that forward to the public and make it reasonably and easily available to them, I think only works to our advantage as we try to convince people that all the money and energy and equipment that we're using on recycled water to promote it, make it available to people, that people aren't afraid of it. And I still think people in the back of their minds could be afraid of it. And that's certainly not the case, at least in our system. So thank you for that.
It's great feedback, and we'll revisit sort of what we're putting out on our website in relation to our recycled water quality and our weekly emails that we send to our customers, just to make sure we're reinforcing that message.
Thank you, Board Member Mullen. Board Member Watts, any questions or comments?
No, thank you very much for your report. And I just wanted to also thank Board Member Grable for his comments as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Wright.
No comments. Thank you very much for the report. It is simpler than it used to be. I have to say that for it.
Okay, we're now taking public comments on item 5.1. So if any of the public wish to make a comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand. Secretary Perez, do we have any public comments?
We have no public comments at this time.
Very good. That'll conclude item 5.1. Thank you again for your presentation, Deputy Director Martin. We'll now move to the consent calendar. We have 4 items on the consent calendar.
I'll move the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion by Vice Chair Arnone, seconded by Board Member Watts. Secretary Perez, can you poll the board, please?
We want to probably ask if there are any public comments on
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. Sorry. We're now taking public comments on items 6.1 and through 6.4. If you wish to make a comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand. Secretary Perez, do we have any comments or questions from the public?
There are no public comments for the 4 agenda items that are moving forward for approval.
Thank you. If you will poll the board, please.
Yes. Chair Galvin.
Aye.
Vice Chair Arnone.
Aye.
Board Member Badencourt.
Aye.
Board Member Grable.
Aye.
Board Member Mullen.
Aye.
Board Member Watts.
Aye.
Board Member Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Consent calendar is passed unanimously. Item 7 is report items. We have none. Item 8 is public comments on any non-agenda items. If you are on the phone or in Zoom, we're now taking public comments. If you wish to make a comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand. Secretary Perez.
We have no members of the public wishing to speak under public comment.
Thank you very much. We have no referrals, no written communication. With regards to subcommittee reports, I will report that the Contract Review Subcommittee met on June 3rd. We reviewed 3 professional service contracts. All were unanimously approved by the subcommittee and will come before the full board on June 18th. The first one is a construction management and inspection services contract with Somas for the lining of the Llano Trunk in 3rd Street. Construction contract for this project was awarded back on May 21st, and construction is scheduled for this summer. Second contract was for construction management and inspection services with Coastland for the reconstruction of 2 of the sewer lift stations that were damaged in the tub fire. This project is currently out to bid with a scheduled bid opening of June 15th, and staff is planning to bring the construction contract for this project to the board on July 2nd. The third contract was with Brelgy and Race for professional engineering services for the design of the replacement of the emergency backup generators at our water pump stations and sewer lift stations. The city received hazard mitigation grant funding for this project last November, and construction is planned for the summer of 2021. Are there any other subcommittee reports? Any questions on that one? Any board member reports? Hearing none, we'll move to the director's report.
Thank you, Chair Galvin, members of the board. I just have 2 short items for the board. As I think the board well knows, and based on a previous presentation that we gave to the board on the status of our water supply, although water supply in both Lake Mendocino and Lake Sonoma are in good shape, we are recognizing that this has been a very dry year. And so we are anticipating that the Sonoma County Water Agency will be submitting their temporary urgency change petition in either late this week or sometime next week to the State Water Resources Control Board. The purpose of this temporary urgency change petition will be to reduce flows in the upper Russian River to try and preserve storage in Lake Mendocino. We are anticipating that they will be asking to reduce flows in the upper Russian River from approximately 75 to 85 cubic feet per second under the dry year to about 50 cubic feet per second and would result in 60 cubic feet per second in the lower Russian River. They're also going to be asking for the ability to, should storage levels fall to critically low levels in Lake Mendocino, the ability to drop down even further into a critical dry pattern in the river so that they can preserve water for the fall run of the endangered fish species. So to that end, we continue to work with the contractors and Sonoma Water to look at our summer campaign and advertising. Good news specifically for Santa Rosa, our water use efficiency team has been working very hard to figure out ways that they can provide water use efficiency services to our customers. And we just started this week resuming our outdoor irrigation audits for residential and commercial customers. So we have quite a number of folks who are interested and signed up, and we are working with them to ensure that our customers and our staff are safe and have put in protocols where they will be socially distant, as well as having appropriate personal protective equipment so that they can go out and provide services to our customers. We have also developed a virtual indoor checkup so that we're able to provide indoor assistance to our customers. We are dropping off leak kits prior to the virtual appointment so that our customers can be walked through how they can actually do a audit indoors. And then we are continuing to really focus on and promote our outdoor efficiency programs and working on various ways that we can continue to provide rebates and other incentives, as well as fixture giveaways to our customers in sort of recognizing this new way that we're interacting with our customers, taking into account COVID-19 protocols. And that is the end of my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you. Any board member questions or comments for the director? At this point, I'll open it up for public comment on both the subcommittee report that I presented by the contract review subcommittee or the director. If you are wishing to make a comment via Zoom, please raise your hand. If you are dialing in via telephone, please dial *9 to raise your hand. Do we have any public comments, Secretary Perez?
We do not have any public comment for those agenda items.
Thank you very much. Okay, I believe we've covered the entire agenda, so I wish you all a good afternoon and stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Bye.